Delayed to have you here. A lot has happened for us. When we finally had revenue in about 2008, we started to look for a place that was not a basement. And in the early days in that basement, we invited our first customer, which is a famous clandestine service in America, and we had no product, we had no people, so we all kind of gathered around, much like you try to make yourself larger in front of a bear so it doesn't eat you, to prove we had people, and that's how it began. And then when we moved over to Palo Alto, it was a big moment for Palantir, we felt we had arrived because we had built this product, PG, which really did shift the history of the world, but especially in Europe, by reducing terrorism in accordance with civil liberties. And one of the truisms of business is you're really succeeding at the place where no one believes you actually care. So we cared about data protection, civil liberties, and we went very deep on these issues. And some of those issues, not all of it, are super important for the AIP product that we're delivering. By the way, we launched the product just under 5 months ago, and now we have 150 companies using that product, 50% growth in the last month. And we're changing our go-to-market because we have no resources, away from 12-month pilots to essentially a boot camp where we all roll up our sleeves over 2 days and like, great, we'll show you it working. But both because, quite frankly, we don't have the resources, and we like to humiliate people out there saying they have products. So what better way to do it? We'll show you your enterprise working in 2 days. Talk to other people. But the central reason we have had these precursor technologies, ontology, branching, an understanding of what it would mean to interact with algorithms, whether they're normal algorithms of the kind that are used on the battlefield or large language models, was a deep understanding of NLP. How do you ask and answer questions? They're different in this context, but the core issue we had in building that product was how do you unify data sets where part of the data has to remain unknown to either machine learning or to the end user. And those products are not isomorphic. Those questions are not exactly isomorphic to how do you interact with a large language model, which is not exact in a way where you can extract value that needs to be exact under conditions where you, for legal, moral, and ethical reasons, cannot expose, and business survival reasons, your knowledge of the world to a third party's LLM. There's jarringly similar use case, and this is why we have all these people adopting the product, because quite frankly, unless you spent 20 years looking at those, you would make certain mistakes. Like the text that at the time, because intelligence operatives have to work with things they know are true and data sets that they are hoping are true, and at the time you really couldn't interact with the text very easily. And so dealing with something that's become very, very powerful, but that's not exact, and the kind of exact algorithmic things you would need to make operational decisions to write to your enterprise, it just takes a long time to believe that that's how you have to build it, and longer to build a product. And so I associate Palo Alto with our ascendancy, this building with our ascendancy, and our commercial business, and quite frankly our government business in the United States, with a really cool ride. And then just a kind of obvious addendum. I was just at this gathering organized by Senator Leader Schumer, and there are many things that happened there, but it's very hard to explain how, in reality, if you even took the people who were not in the room, and then the people who, like the league below them and the league below them, you would still have a stronger tech community than any other country in the world. It's just actually kind of bonkers. Like, you have any one person on the tech side in that room has a larger tech business than probably any other country besides America. And so we're at this moment where, you know, and we're fighting very hard to get adoption on the battlefield, some of which is happening. It's a lot of it's sensitive, can't really go into it, but obviously we believe not quickly enough. But one of the things that you are doing, quite frankly, without realizing it, is you're putting pressure on our government to adopt AI in a way that will improve all of our lives with guardrails in the civil context and with guardrails in the military context, simply because you're going to adopt things and you're going to run into senators and congresspeople and generals and colonels and sergeants and healthcare providers and people at the VA and be like, but why is my product better than yours? And this is probably the most, I mean, there are many reasons why I'm super happy about the work we're doing in U.S. commercial, and quite frankly, the just amazing. I never thought we'd get to the point where the growth was so significant. We are just trying to scrap to figure out how we can do these things. But one of the orthogonal reasons I'm very happy about this is there's no better way to cajole an organization to work faster, in this case our clandestine and military services, than to say, okay, well, you know, you paid $1 billion, you have a jalopy, I paid $5 million, and I'm running my whole organization. So I'm very passionate about this for lots of reasons, but that's also one reason. And I think we have some questions, and try to keep me out of purgatory. I'm already skating a fine line. Luckily, my co-founder, I didn't appreciate the value of, we have these F shares, which basically means it's harder to fire me, but then I go to these meetings and I get away with speaking a plain English because of these F shares, but I'm realizing I'm skirting on thin ice, so maybe, yeah. So, I don't know, someone's going to ask a question.